a good question here we want to start with is how had Ronsco's business grown in the past few years? So in other words, you mentioned that you guys added a shop, but how else had Ronsco grown in terms of shop growth and business growth?
Well, in terms of shop growth in general, like I said, we acquired that first railcar repair facility, and since then the railcar maintenance part of our business kind of exploded over the last 5 or 6 years. We also set up a wheel shop, and we did a few other things in other business units where our employment base probably tripled in that period of time. We also have 2 dedicated on-site mobile repair facilities. We have 2 like mini mobile repairs as well. We're setting up a 3rd one right now. So from the railcar maintenance perspective, it's a small part of our business, probably representing maybe 10 to 15% of our revenue as a corporation, but it's by far the biggest growth segment of our business right now. So that's really where it is.
Got it. So based on that, you guys had processes and systems and background systems that changed. And I want to talk a little bit about that too, because what we see is, and I think a lot of the shops that are probably listening here, they've had systems in the past that were really standalone. But I think what you guys did too, and we'll talk about this and let you go on this, is they've added systems behind the scenes. So maybe you can give us a little bit of background on what systems you guys added, what processes changed with all that growth, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much had to go through a full-scale change to all of our systems over the last 5 or 6 years or so. And a lot of that stemmed from this repair facility, because it pushed our corporate accounting systems to the limit of their capabilities. And so we really got to the point where we had to make a major decision to say, okay, we need to upgrade our MRP, our ERP system. We need to go to something modern. We had some old legacy systems. Nothing was integrated. Nothing was communicating with each other. We had all these sort of independent systems at different locations, and we were heavily spreadsheet dependent. And we just got to the point where it was unmanageable. And so that's, I mean.
Oops, sorry. I was going to say, and your ERP is, if you want to mention that.
Oh, it's SAP. We went to SAP Business One, and we had some old legacy system before that I don't even know what the name of it was. It was so old.
so it was creaking and ready to be put out of its misery, so to speak. So those changes they prompted you, as you mentioned, to look for a new car repair billing software. So I remember way back when we were chatting, part of the issue was that the Express Yard didn't integrate, and it was going to be a real pain for you guys to be able to push and pull data. Do you want to expound on that a little bit, or tell us a little bit more about how that looked?
It was actually kind of a frustrating experience, because we had already made the decision to move to SAP as a corporate system, and I had started dialoguing with Express Yard because one of the important factors for us was to integrate some information. We needed to integrate some of the communication, a lot of it on the accounting side and invoicing, to make sure that it was streamlined. And so I had several calls and emails with Express Yard to try to figure out, well, what are the capabilities? And quite honestly, the capabilities were very limited. They made certain web services available. And then there was, some massive charges to implement different things. And there was basically no ability to customize anything to our needs. It was sort of a take it or leave it, attitude. At the time, though, I kind of felt like, oh, this was our only option. I didn't even know RailcarRX existed until, my colleague bumped into you guys at a trade show.
Sure,
and, I think you guys kind of bedazzled them with some of the functionality. And it was after that we did a demo and everything, and we realized that, this might be a far better solution. And if we're making a wholesale change to a new ERP system, there's no reason for us not to consider a new railcar management system at the same time. So
sure, yeah. So you guys did it all at once. New ERP. You guys have a time management system, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that and how that integrates to RailcarRX too. And then decided to go full boat and get a new repair shop management system. So you guys really went all out and did a complete change.
Yeah.
I guess the big question is where did RailcarRX help to meet those business needs? If you can give a little bit of background, because I think a lot of people want to know, okay, they may not use ExpressYard, and I know some of the other systems have some of the same type of maybe limited capabilities, but where did RailcarRX come in, and how did we help you guys in terms of all these systems and then tying them all together and and making it one platform for you?
Well, I guess one of the huge things, the thing that impressed us from the beginning was from the management perspective, what RX had to offer. Some of the visibility tools, some of the dashboards that the management level folks really want to see on a daily basis. I mean, it was it was those needs that RX really addressed from day one, and that's what really impressed us from the beginning. The greater power to customize and control some different features is hugely different compared to ExpressYard, which is much more rigid. But but by far, I guess the biggest thing was your ability and your willingness to work with us to integrate in the way we wanted, in the way we needed with our ERP, our SAP system. We had never done this before, and we had some ideas about what made sense, and you guys were willing to work with us to make it happen. And it's not a small job; it's a lot of work, and we were kind of feeling our way through it, not having done it before. But it was a completely different culture, I think, working with a company like Primus or RailcarRX to get this done, compared to dealing with the behemoth behind some of the other systems where, they said, yeah, they might work with you, but your timeline, you might be put on a list, and and it might have happened like a year and a half later, right? There was no sense of urgency there at all, right? And we're just a small company with one repair shop, right? We don't have a network of 22 shops either, so.
Yeah, or even like you said, at a cost that might exceed budgets too, and that's where we can come in at maybe at a much lower cost, but also provide the same great functionality and then integrate to whatever systems you guys have.
Exactly. Yeah.